Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 144 of the Sun and Moon anime titled The Greatest Z in Alola, Tapu Koko vs Pikachu just dropped, and this is it, the final episode of the Alola League. Pikachu vs Tapu Koko, 10 million volts versus the Guardian of Alola. Who's gonna win? Let's find out. Similar to the last couple of battle episodes, I'll just be going through the battle and give my review as it happens, since it'll be easier that way. The episode begins with a small recap of the battle between Torracat and Incineroar before starting the battle between Naganadel and Tapu Koko. Ash has Naganadel use Sludge Bomb and Tapu Koko is able to block it using Steel Wing. Ash then has Naganadel go for X-Scissor while Tapu Koko uses Steel Wing. There's a great fast-paced clash between the two, and even the commentator makes a note of how Naganadel's speed is so good. I make a note of how the animation is so good, because over here, the animation looks incredible. Then, Kukui has Tapu Koko use Dazzling Gleam, which gets a direct hit on Naganadel, who falls to the ground. But, as it's falling to the ground, Kukui has Tapu Koko go for another Steel Wing. While that's happening, Ashton has Naganadel use Dragon Pulse, which surprises everyone since, fairies are immune to dragon, and everyone's wondering why Ash is doing it, and then when Naganadel uses Dragon Pulse causing an explosion, Tapu Koko turns around to eat an X-Scissor to the face. Basically, that was just a distraction, and Naganadel came from the smoke and lands a great shot on Tapu Koko. Then, another Dazzling Gleam by Tapu Koko, who runs through Naganadel's Sludge Bomb and gets a great hit in before finishing it off with Discharge. Naganadel's unable to battle, which means now it's one-on-one. Ash thanks Naganadel and brings out his ace, his Pikachu. As Hollis says, let the battle between Pikachu and Tapu Koko begin. And this is one heck of a battle. At first, the battle is in Tapu Koko's favor. Ash tries a Thunderbolt, but it's overpowered by Tapu Koko. Then he tries a Quick Attack, but he can't hit it due to Tapu Koko being in the air. But the tables turn when Kukui has Tapu Koko go for another Dazzling Gleam, and Pikachu dodges. This miss is what Ash uses to mount his counterattack very strategically, and it's pretty awesome. He starts with Iron Tail to hit Tapu Koko to the ground. Then, since he doesn't recover fast enough, when Kukui has it go for Nature's Madness, Ash stops it with Electro Web. While the battlefield is then covered with smoke from that explosion, Ash's Pikachu is able to get a direct hit in with Quick Attack, followed up by another Electro Web to keep Tapu Koko trapped in the ground, and followed up by a Thunderbolt. That sequence ends with Tapu Koko seemingly blocking Thunderbolt with a Discharge and Electric Terrain disappearing. Kukui tells Ash how incredible Ash has been in the Alola League so far, and while Ash and Pikachu celebrate with Kukui saying, Tapu Koko comes to Kukui and raises Z-Ring. He tells Tapu Koko that he already used a Z-move for Incineroar, so Tapu Koko starts calling on the other Tapus. The four Tapus get together and seemingly do a song and dance number, which ends with them sending down sparkles to the battlefield, which restores Ash and Kukui's energy. Not only that, but their Z-rings start to sparkle again. Koko lands down and hands Kukui a Tapunium Z. Even Hollow's shocked, and he talks about how this was just a thing that people used to do generations ago, it's just back in the days. And then it begins. The greatest Z-move battle ever. Kukui tells Ash that he is going to go full power, and then he begins to use the Z-move, the Guardian of Alola. And this is one hell of a Z-move, causing the ground to split, causing rocks to come out of the ground, and most importantly, having a massive electric body come from the ground. Ash is ready to use his Z-move, the Electrium Z, when it turns into Pikachu Z. Then he starts using his 10 million volt Thunderbolt. The two Pokemon use their Z-move clash, and it is just epic. No, I'm really underselling it when I'm talking about it. Watch the episode, you'll know what I mean. Just incredible. Then, when the moves are clashing, Ash and Pikachu fall into this white space where they're able to reflect on their Alolan journey. He's had adventures, rivals, and it all culminates with this. With that, him and Pikachu use their maximum power and start sending back the Guardian of Alola attack. A massive explosion, and both Pikachu and Ash are exhausted from the Z-move, barely able to even stand up from the ground, while Tapu Koko, closed in its shelf, is falling down. But then, poof, Tapu Koko falls to the ground, unmoving. All the kahunas get up, as this will be the final call of the league. Tapu Koko is unable to battle. The winner of this match is Ash, and everyone in the stadium goes nuts, and so do I. Our main cast of friends are crying because the battle was just so epic. Meanwhile, Ash is so exhausted he's just laying down on the floor. He talks to Pikachu about how they did it when Tapu Lele uses her powers of refreshing them and refreshes Pikachu, Ash, and Tapu Koko. They all get up, and Kukui thanks Tapu Koko for the battle, and they shake hands. Ash goes up to Kukui and thanks him, and both Ash's mom and Burnett tell them how great they were and how awesome the battle was. The episode ends with Kukui thanking Ash for making the league a success. Man, what can you say about this episode? This had everything. Amazing animation? Check. Great battle strategy? Check, check. Not only for Pikachu either. Ash was being pretty smart tactician even using Naganadel. Emotional? Check. And not in the sad kind either. One that made me cheer for Ash and reflect on the series myself. It's been a pretty long journey, even for the audience. So, when the 10 million volts and Guardians of Alola were crashing, you felt that. Ash caps off his journey with a definite win. Not only did he beat probably the strongest trainer in Alola, he also beat the Island Guardian, Tapu Koko. This in turn closes Pikachu's story, one that they told since the beginning of Sun and Moon. Tapu Koko chose Ash because he saw massive potential in him, and that paid off since Ash was ultimately able to defeat him. Even Hala says that how this was like a graduation exam given by Tapu Koko to Ash. If I have to be picky about something though, it's that we don't know where the 10 million volts comes from, and it's random in both cases that it's appeared so far. You can kind of excuse it in this case saying, oh, Tapu Koko made it happen, but in reality, there's nothing to suggest such a thing. It just kind of randomly appears when Ash and Co need it most. It's a bit of plot convenient device, but narratively in this case, I think it was wholly appropriate. It was the battle of Ash and Pikachu giving it their all and turning an electric Z-move into their own Z-move, and they do it to show their bond and their full power. So because of that, I think it works a lot better in this case than it did when it appeared in Ultra Space. I love the conversation between Ash and Kukui. Kukui encourages Ash, tells him how far he's come, and at the end when he wins, he tells him how great he did. He's been a great father figure to Ash, which is also another theme of this battle, which I think is amazing. Really, I should try to look at this objectively, but as I'm writing this review just after I watch it, I'm filled with adrenaline because the battle is really good. That's just not a bad thing when you're emotionally exhausted, and it goes to show the direction and choreography of this battle was so great. It was really captivating, and I think they did a wonderful job. Bravo. I don't think I really have to say this, but just in case I do, this is a 10 out of 10 episode. Every Pokemon fan, not just Sun and Moon fans, should go out of their way to watch this episode. The next episode looks like it's going to be the aftermath of the league, and it looks like Naganadel will be leaving, and Ash and the rest of his friends will be figuring out what to do. On top of that, it seems like Gladion will be making decisions as well. And on top of that, Ash and Kiawe are going to have a battle. The next episode looks like it has a lot to juggle in terms of content, so I hope it doesn't feel too rushed. But I am really looking forward to what's going to happen there. But anyways, that's it for my Pokemon Sun and Moon episode 144 review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. In the comments, I want to hear your thoughts on this episode. What'd you think of it? You can also tell me on Twitter @TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.